Hello and welcome to the Vegan Corner. When it comes to Italian food, we've got you covered as we are Italians. In fact, today's recipe is one of the most famous preparations in the whole world, tomato sauce. We are sure you already know how to prepare tomato sauce. However, what you probably don't know is how to prepare a tomato sauce without oil, which still tastes fantastic enough to suit an Italian palate. The ingredients needed to spread the delicate aroma of Italy all over your house are in the description down below. To begin with, slice the garlic as you desire. You have a few options here. You can finely mince the garlic, slice it, or leave it in bigger chunks so that they can be removed when the sauce is finished. Many Italians leave the clove untouched to easily remove it at the end of the cooking process. Next, place a saucepan over a medium heat and pour in the oil. You are probably thinking that adding oil to an oil-free dish is slightly counterproductive, and you're right, but we promise that every drop will be removed during the following steps. Dip in the garlic and gently fry it until it acquires a light brown color. This will add a toasted garlic note to the final dish, which is what turns a regular tomato sauce into a special one. As soon as the garlic is of the right color, turn off the heat to stop the cooking process and to eliminate any risk of burning the garlic. Tilt the pan and let all the oil collect on one side. Once all the oil is on one side of the pan, absorb it with a piece of kitchen paper and you would have fried garlic without oil. How easy was that? Now turn the heat back on medium, dip in the tomatoes, break them into smaller pieces and stir. We are using tinned tomatoes here, but feel free to use fresh tomatoes instead. It is worth noting, however, that very few Italians use fresh tomatoes. This is as if we waited for fresh tomatoes to become available, we would only be able to make our favorite dishes during the summer. That would make the rest of the year a very sad time for us, so we really are grateful for tinned tomatoes. It's also near impossible to get fresh tomatoes that are of the same ripeness as tinned ones. Remember that all tomatoes are always a better choice than chopped ones, so always buy whole ones when you have the option. Bring the sauce to a simmer, lower the heat to the minimum and cover the pan with a lid. Make sure to leave the pot partially uncovered to let the steam escape. This will concentrate the sauce and the flavor over time. Cook the sauce for 5 minutes over the lowest heat. Once the time has elapsed, turn off the heat, remove the lid and stir the sauce. Turn the heat on again, bring the sauce back to a simmer, place the lid back on and cook for additional 5 minutes over the lowest heat. You might be wondering why we are turning the burner on and off before stirring. Obviously we are just testing that it works. Well, not really, it's actually down to the fact that the sauce is so thick that whilst boiling it literally projects tomato sauce all over the kitchen, and we would rather avoid that, wouldn't we? Once the time is up, repeat the whole process one last time and turn off the heat to complete the sauce. 15 minutes of total cooking time is generally enough for small quantities of sauce, but if you are planning of making more, or if your tinned tomatoes are more watery, the sauce might require a little longer cooking and possibly a little higher heat under the pan. Just stick to our rules and your sauce will end up spot on. There is one last very important step to turn the sauce into something really Italian, which is to add a few torn basil leaves. 3 of them should do for this quantity of sauce. Once the last ingredient has been added, stir one last time to complete the sauce. The basil will cook with the residual heat of the tomatoes, so there is no need for the burner to be on here. And there you have it. This is what we consider to be a perfectly prepared traditional Italian sauce, ready to be used in any dish that requires it. We were able to serve this sauce to several Italians, and none of them was able to understand how a sauce could be that good without using any oil. Please give this recipe a try, and if you like it, don't forget to leave us a thumbs up and subscribe.